cross-country mountain bike. Certainly not a sport that I'm familiar with, but we're going to get to know a little bit about it with Evan Gutherie from Peachland, but we could like to call him our own here in Kelowna. A hopeful, an Olympian hopeful for 2016 in Rio. Welcome, first of all. Talk to me a little bit about cross-country mountain biking. What is that?
Well, thanks first off for having me here, Ryan. But cross-country mountain biking is something that's been in the Olympics since 1996. And it's an endurance event on the mountain bike, riding on trails, riding on roads, hour and a half kind of in length. Very explosive kind of racing, a lot of technical features in the courses, and nowadays it's quite man-made features, so it's really good for television. Pretty exciting racing. You'd have to watch it.
This isn't a race that you take a chairlift up to the top and then just race down, right?
No, I'm not a lazy man. I like to ride up. So it's, I like being fit and getting fit. So this is kind of a sport that has rewards for that because you get to climb up the mountains first and then come racing down. And I think that's one of the things that has gotten me into it over the years, is just being able to climb up mountains like in the background here and stand at the top and overlook the valley, and then the reward is riding down the hill after you have a little bite to eat. So
who gets you into something like this? Do you just fall into it?
Not necessarily. I wouldn't say anyone really in town knows about it, but cross-country mountain biking, it just came about over time. I grew up in Rutland, and my dad got me into riding, and I started riding around picnic tables. And sure enough, it turned into riding up in the mountains. He'd take me out, and I'd have little hissy fits as a kid, being stuck out in the bush, him pushing me around, and somehow I turned to love it. And by middle school, high school, I was shaving my legs and wearing spandex, and that definitely wasn't the cool thing to do back then.
But when you're on the podium in 2016, then, it'll be cool at that time. But let's talk about the Olympic Games in Rio in 2016, a goal of yours. When does that become a reality for you, or at least a goal that you can attain?
Well, I think as an athlete that is in an Olympic sport, it takes time. And over the years, the dream slowly becomes more of a reality, I guess. And, haven't quite got to the reality part. But over time, that is something that I think can be possible. I wouldn't really be doing this if I didn't think it was possible. So I definitely have some big goals and a lot of self-belief, and I think it's possible. As cliche as it is to say you can do anything you want to, I really kind of believe in that, because I've achieved every goal I've set so far. So
no doubt the training has got to be intensive. I mean, you're on the bike, no doubt. How much exactly?
I ride, I'm on the bike 6 days a week right now. My coach is a big fan of having one day off to just kind of relax, do your whatever day. But 6 days a week, a lot of hours in the saddle, a lot of strength work, core work, stretching after you ride, foam rolling, physio, all this kind of stuff. So in the day, maybe you only ride 4 or 5 hours, but it ends up taking 8 hours in the day by the time you get good recovery meal in you and stretch and do all that kind of stuff. And actually lay around a little bit to recover from the workout, because if you're not sitting around a little bit, and being lazy, you don't recover from it quite as well.
Now, are you recent to the full-time training as well? You were doing some part-time stuff, just kind of, I don't want to say for fun, but certainly keeping the endurance up. Now, just full-time because the Olympic Games is a couple years away now?
Yeah, I have had a great opportunity this year with some awesome sponsors like Grand Fondo Axlemarks, Planet Foods, Investors.ca, ProSource Irrigation, Norco Bicycles, and I'm pretty fortunate this year, and I've been able to step it up and do full-time training, and I'm definitely by far the fittest I've ever been, and it's noticeable, and I think it's going to be a good year. And if I can keep this momentum going, you never know what's going to happen in the next few years, but I think if it keeps stepping up levels, I'm by far fitter than I've ever been. So if I can do that every year, I think it's going to really put Rio in contention.
And you're ranked 4th in the nation right now, 83rd overall in the world. Is that what I heard? Is that the rumor?
I think,
did I make that up?
Maybe. It sounds, I don't know. I'd have to go back and check. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. But no, I've kind of had some spells. I'm in a different category now. When I was young and junior, I was #1 ranked rider in Canada for a few years, and up to number 3 or 4 in the world. And I'm in the under 23 category now in my last year, and I'm around there's kind of 5 of us that all trade places at every race, so we're kind of all missing and matching and stuff. But in the world right now, had a couple of tough races in the big ones last year, but hoping to step that game up this year quite a bit.
Now, are there trials to get to the Olympic Games, to get to the Olympic team in 2016?
Yeah, well, it's a 4-year cycle. Okay. So it's kind of, you got to commit and be the fastest guy for the 4 years. So obviously if someone comes in last year and they've kind of popped out of nowhere, but they're the fastest guy in Canada, then they'll go. Okay. But you got to show consistency and show that you're the guy to be there and earn that spot, right? Mm-hmm. It is a points chase too. There's world ranking points. So over the 4 years, your nation gets points, and that awards how many spots you're allowed to have. So the maximum amount is 3, and at the last Olympics, we only had 2 spots. So hoping that the whole Canadian contingent can put enough results in the bag in the next 4 years that we can have 3 spots. So
yeah.
Well,
Best of luck. Thanks for joining us, and we hope to see you in Rio.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Evan Gutherie, look for him hopefully on the podium in 2016 at the Rio Olympics, and then we can call him one of our own. Thanks for watching.